right. So I just finished a session with a client, and the client who was, you could say, a premium client. We finished the session. It was slightly lengthy. And after we finished, he gave me a review. Okay. Now, the reason why he gave me a glowing review is because I not only gave him a good session, he expected this much, I gave him slightly above that. But I also gave him something unexpected. After he finished the session, I gave him notes of what was discussed. He never expected that. So it was pretty lengthy in its content. Plus, I gave him some bonus material. So naturally, he was very happy, and he gave me a glowing review. Now, what happened was, in my excitement of the review, I decided, I will share it with the community. Now, let me tell you one thing before I move further. The client was based in US, and there is a time difference. Okay. And sometimes I have to adjust my sleep to meet with the requirements of the client, especially if it's a premium client. So, I slept just 2-3 hours, got up, drank coffee, kept myself fresh. By the time the session got over, I was sleepy. Okay. But then again, it's better to finish the job and then move on. So, by the time the client call was over, took 2-3 hours, plus the notes that I typed out, I wanted to finish everything. I decided, okay, I'll post this review. And yes, I decided just posting one review, what is the point? Put 2-3 reviews, old reviews. Now, before I do go further, I'll tell you to observe something, okay, which I want you to. If you check the Instagram, when you post a picture, most probably it comes like a square, 800 by 800 pixels, okay? Or you can take 1000 by 1000 pixels, it has to be square. And even on YouTube, when you put an announcement, the image has to be like a square if it has to come. Otherwise, if it is like a YouTube thumbnail, that is 1920 by 1080 pixels, 1920 by 1080, okay? Then a person has to click once, and then finally it expands. So in order to make it easily readable, what I do is I edit an image and I make it 800 by 800. But now when you're taking a screenshot of someone's text, the text is always rectangular, and what happens is it becomes very small. And then if you put 2 or 3 recommendations, then you have to shrink it down and it doesn't appear symmetrical. So the solution is you take a screenshot and then you edit in such a way that it fits a square. Sometimes, if you know Photoshop, it is images. If you know Illustrator, it is words. So sometimes I use Photoshop to take a photograph and I edit the size. Or sometimes what I do is, with Adobe Illustrator, I copy the text and I edit it in such a way that it fits a square. So now what happened was, because I was sleepy, okay, when you are asleep, you only sleep 2-3 hours plus drink coffee, and my excitement to post this image online, I ended up, let's say Mr. A, B, C, D, they have commented something. I, by mistake, put what Mr. A said Mr. A said, "You are amazing. Love to take your session." I copy pasted the same text to B, and little bit of B I put in C. It was a mess. It was a mess. I thought I had done. See, because you need to understand one thing, that when you take a screenshot, let's say for example, person's name, below that are the stars, below that are the text. There is gap in between each one. So you have to reduce the gap if you have to fit it in a square. And sometimes the text, let's say, is, if I take a screenshot, it is 2.5 lines. So I have to make it 2 lines. But then you cannot have one text very big, the next one very small. So I have to make it all symmetrical. And if you're a designer, you would understand this. So I had to do all this editing, and it just skipped my attention. And okay, fine, I posted the duplicate words. Now what happened was, after posting, no sooner I finished posting, some of my subscribers, I think 3 of them, who I think they're just waiting for me to make a mistake or something. So they posted, no, it was a very intelligent comment. Should we just ignore the content being the same but with a different pseudonym or something like that? It's a very intelligent comment by one of the subscribers. But then below that, the typical, our uneducated lot, laughing emoji, haha, hey, fake comment and this and that, okay, all this shit. I was so pissed off. Obviously, I have to delete it, right? And put the correct one. I deleted that, and then I edited it. But after editing, again I made a mistake. I don't know how, but I again made a mistake. Then I had to delete it again. And finally, the third time, this time when I put it, content was perfect, alignment was out of place. And there were a little bit of, black spaces in between. I was like, man, come on. So what normally would have taken me 1 hour ended up taking me nearly 3 hours. Putting up, removing, checking. And you also have to understand that when I do post, it has to be accurate. I can't just conjure up something from somewhere. Because if tomorrow someone asks me, or they verify it. See, because people are very smart on the internet. People are not dumb. If they cross-verify, I don't want it to come across like I used a guy's name and I put something fake. So these reviews are there on Google reviews and Fiverr reviews and all that. Okay. But now the question is, see, let's assume that I do post fake reviews. Let's assume. Okay. There is a very strong possibility that anyone who knows Photoshop and Illustrator can type out something and put fake reviews. Or I can even ask some well-wisher or a guy, listen, you give me a positive review, I'll give you a positive review. Okay. But now the question here is, okay, fine, I gave a fake review, I got a fake review. But then when the customer books my service, now what will I do? Simple question I'm asking you. Let's say I fake all my recommendations. Oh, Loy is great, Loy is amazing, Loy knows personal branding. Okay? And then I finally get a customer. And remember, these customers are paying money that is not cheap. It is, you're talking of, sometimes a customer pays $500 an hour. Okay? For $500 an hour, or the minimum $237 an hour, do you seriously think that person is dumb? You think the person who can afford that kind of money or service is not smart enough to search the internet and know whether what I'm saying is true or false? I mean, you who is watching this video, who's not my customer or client, I'm pretty sure you're young, but you have access to the internet. You have access to YouTube. You have access to any information online. Do you seriously think it is easy for me to fake or copy someone else's content and, try to fool people? If you say yes, then I want you to try it. I want you to try fooling other people after taking their money, say $2,000 or $10,000, and try to fool them. See if you succeed. The problem is people are just ready to jump and say, oh, fake this, fake that, fake. What you don't understand is if you go in the direction of or take the path of being fake, it's like, for example, The Rock, Hey, Buffalo, what are you doing? Don't come near me. I don't know why it's coming near me. Very scary. I'm not buffalo friendly. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah. See, for example, The Rock. The Rock has always said that his body is natural. He's not taking steroids. Now he has to live with that lie. He can't tell people I'm taking steroids, although the whole world knows he takes steroids. Or this guy, you can search his name, Mike O'Hearn. He says that he has never taken steroids. His body is natural even at the age of 55 or it's going to be 60. From the age of 20 until now, he's growing bigger, bigger, bigger. But he says it's natural. Now the problem is if you say a lie, you have to say another lie to cover that lie. And then your whole life is a lie, man. And people are not dumb, yeah. See, why am I addressing this issue? It's because it seriously bugs me when uneducated idiots don't seem to realize. I'm not talking about that guy who gave that intelligent comment. He was right. But I'm talking of these other guys who say fake, you're fake this, fake that. What all can I fake, man? And if I have to fake those reviews, why don't I fake my lifestyle? Why don't I show expensive rented car and expensive rented house, fake cash notes, fake jewelry? Don't you think I'll get more clients? There are so many in India and so many, so many coaches who are busy wearing a three-piece suit and talking all big. Why do I have to roam half naked and then talk about my service? Shouldn't I visually appear to be a professional? It is because it's very simple, man. My work does the talking. The reason you will never realize whether what I'm saying is true or false is because number one, you're not my client. And number two is you don't need my service. And number three is even if you do need my service, you can't afford it. So what's the best solution? Grapes are sour. That's why the fox didn't jump. It sometimes just bugs me that people still think that after almost 25 years being in this line of work, I have to fake reviews. Reviews don't work, Baba. It is people who get in touch with me. See, this reviews that I share is just to share the good feeling, or you could say brag. But where content is concerned, people, they wait 2 years or 3 years or some even wait 6 years. They check my content after content after content. And one fine day, after many years, they decide, okay, fine. Like I've even had people who are long-term clients with me now, who have openly admitted and told me, I used to always think, your content is good, but are you a scammer? Like, you look like one. Why you dressed up, why do you dress up half naked? Why do people have controversial views about you? Even if you Google search Loy Machedo controversy or Loy Machedo fraud, there are so many people who, I don't know who they are. They call me fraud. So, before a person pays money, he's like not sure. So my clients also say, I was not sure whether you're a fraud, and I was like in two minds. Sheesh, if I give him the money is gone. But finally, someone who needs my service urgently, they finally take a risk, take a plunge and say, okay, fine. Like this client who I spoke to, another one, not the same guy who gave the recommendation. He's a long-term client. He has spent tens of thousands of dollars. Sometimes when we talk casually, he tells me, he's saying, my wife was against you, still is. My family is against you. My friends are against you. They all say that you're brainwashing me, you are evil, you're this, you're that. And he's saying, even when I saw your videos first, I was like, yeah, he talks sense, but why does he have these tattoos? Why does he roam half naked? Why do people call him a fraud and all that? So he was hesitant to take my service. Finally, one day he said, okay, let me take his service. If he has to cheat me, I'll lose $237 initial consultation. And if it's gone, it's gone. I took a risk. You won't believe, the guy took the risk, and now it has been like, what, 2-3 years since he's my client. And almost every day, we have a session. He pays me money. All I want to tell you is, look, it's easy to fabricate and fake stories. It's easy to make up a recommendation. It's easy to, on Fiverr, there are people with video presentation who do videos. You give them a script, they'll say anything. Like if I pay them money and say for $5 or $50, whatever, even $5, there are people, Loy is the #1 coach and he gave me great service, and they will show a thumbs up, like 10-second video. Trust me, there are people, go to Fiverr, you'll check. There are, why a written recommendation when people can give a video testimony, and the video one is more powerful. But the thing is, these are actors. So why am I not doing that? You'll say, yeah, because you can get caught. Okay. Then putting this written thing, don't you think I can get caught? But then you'll say, oh, we don't know from where you took it. We don't know your client name, PO box, location, identity. Say, given the fact that you know my identity, my number, my everything, people give me death threats, unwanted emails, spam, and threaten my wife and children. You think if I give my client details, there'll not be some psycho who will do all this? In fact, let me ask you, are you comfortable giving your name, identity, location, email address, where you work? Are you comfortable putting this information online? No, most of you, even your Instagram and Facebook, you lock the profile because you don't want others to see it. So when you are not a public personality, you're so paranoid. In fact, I'll tell you one young boy, I think 18, an idiot from Mangalore, asked me he wants to join my youth group. I said, fine, send me your name, age, what you do, where you from, and your ID card. So he asked me, before I give you even my name or whatever, can you give me assurance that my privacy and my identity is safe and confidential? Imagine a kid is telling me that he wants assurance from me that I'll not misuse his data. Just his name, age, where he's from. So if a nothing and nobody, a idiot, a school kid is so paranoid about his privacy, don't you think my clients who can afford to pay me big money, they should be the same? In fact, my simple challenge to you, why don't you give me your full name, your details, copy of your ID card and all that, and allow me to publish it and share it with all my groups and tell, you can do whatever you want with this guy's ID. I challenge you will not do that, because it's dangerous. So that's why I don't share my client data. And also keep in mind, my majority of my clients work in the corporate world, high positions, and in the Middle East. And I have very controversial views about Islam and Arabs, and I give bad words and sex and this and that. I talk. So if someone publicly associates with me, some lunatic might complain to the HR and say this guy is associated with this guy who's anti-Muslim, anti-Islamic, or he associates with a person who's not part of our corporate values. Finish, no? The person's in trouble, right? When will you guys use your common sense? Anyway, look, bottom line is this. You want to believe, you believe. You don't want to believe, you don't believe. And what you want to believe, go ahead. End of the day, the people who take my service, they know who I am, they know what I am. The people who have to pay me money, I don't have to convince them. The people who have money and need my service, they don't give a rat's ass about this, thankfully. But what bugs me is when my credibility is questioned. It does hurt. I'm human, man. I mean, that also, you're talking of something that I give my life to. I value more than my own life. My work is more important than my baby, my wife, my life, everything. So when someone disrespects the integrity of what is so sacred to me, my work, of course, it's like me talking about your gods. You get triggered, right? So I don't get triggered that badly that I will kill or harm or... But yes, I do believe sometimes it's necessary to respond to absolute and utter nonsense from stupid, ignorant, worthless freeloaders. Anyway, before I conclude, I'll give you a small assignment so that you know what I'm talking about. Take a screenshot or take a photograph of a book, okay? Take, let's say, a wide book, thin book, okay, different sizes. Just take a photograph of it, upload it. Now, my challenge to you is the text, in this book, make it fit in a 800 by 800 size pixel, like a JPEG blank image. Make it fit and make sure that the font size is the same. Make sure the entire text fits in the same. Make sure the gaps are the same. And make sure it looks presentable. Do that and show me. My simple challenge to you. You have my email address, it's mentioned. Do that and share it with me. But make sure that it makes sense. And see how easy or difficult it is. When you take four different books, 4 different font sizes, 4 different paragraph lengths, 4 different size of the books, and try to fit it into 800 by 800 a square, and it should be the same size font. You'll come to know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. This is me signing off. Some of you are real assholes here. Still sleepy and tired today. Anyway, after this videos, I'll take a rest. provided I don't have another client. Anyway, money is first. Guys, take care. It's me signing off. Ciao.